The other thing that was really cool is, like, I really liked sweets. Like, I kind of lived on peanut butter sandwiches and chocolate milk. Not really, but that was my go-to food, you know, both of which were terrible for me. But after I stopped eating carbohydrates for a month, the carbohydrate cravings went away. You know, last night when we were out for dinner, somebody ordered bread pudding, and I bloody love bread pudding with caramel and ice cream. And so it was sitting there, and I could smell it, and I thought I could go all fantastic Mr. Fox on that bread pudding and just tear it down in about 15 seconds. But it wasn't as intense as a craving for a cigarette if you're an ex-smoker. It was like, well, it'd be really nice to eat that. But like, my appetite declined by about 75%, and that's been permanent. So there's a perverse thing for you. I eat way less, and now I'm not as hungry. Okay, well, how does that make sense? Well, I eat fatty cuts of steak, and Michaela is buying fat directly from the butcher store, and we cook that up, cut it into small pieces and fry it up till it's crispy.
Wow.
It's actually quite delicious. Everybody, well, you are not, but you know, you're interested in this sort of thing, but they should be incredulous. Like when people make absurd claims, it's like, oh, well, I had 50 health problems and I stopped eating everything but meat and they went away. It's like, oh, sure. It's like, yeah, well, wasn't you dying? So, and I see the results, and I know it's an anecdote. I bloody well understand that, and I'm highly skeptical about all of this, but I'm telling you, so that's why I'm telling you what happened to me and what happened to my daughter, and also what happened to my wife, because Tammy was always in good shape, and she's exercised a lot, and she reduced to the pure carnivore diet about a month ago. She lost like 12 pounds, and she was already slim. She's back to the same weight she was when she was 21. She's like 58. You know, and she doesn't look 58, I can tell you that. Vitamin C, for example.
Yes.
Turns out if you don't eat carbohydrates, you don't need vitamin C. Huh, who would have guessed that?
How does that work?
I don't remember. Michaela outlined a paper for me. Vitamin C is necessary for carbohydrate metabolism. But if you don't, again, remember, everyone listening, I am not an expert in this field.
Right.
So I'm getting a little cramping in my toes from time to time, so I'm not sure about
potassium,
or magnesium. That's a possibility.
Well, that's how easy to supplement. Plenty of
well, there are people who basically lived on meat. You know, the Inuit did, the Maasai basically did. I mean, there's some supplementation, but not a lot. So, and apparently, if you do a carnivore diet, you're supposed to eat more organ meat, and I do some of that, but not a lot. But I can tell you, like, well, look, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't producing positive results. It's not like it's fun.
Right.
I mean, for a while, well, it makes you a social pariah. It's like, let's invite the Petersons over. Oh, yeah, they don't eat anything. Oh, we have other friends. It's like, well, that's how it works. It's not malevolence, right? It's just if you're a pain, no one invites you out. And so I'm a social pain and an ideological pain, and now I'm a nutritional pain. So it's like I have no friends.
How difficult is it when you're trying to get breakfast? Like, what do you do when you...
Well, lots of times when we're traveling, we cook. So we usually stay in places where you can cook.
Oh, okay.
But most places you can get a steak. And so that's mostly what we do. We've been traveling in a motorhome, and so we've been cooking in the motorhome.
Oh,
and so and I carry beef jerky with me, which we make.
Wow.
And so,
it's crazy. You make your own beef jerky.
Well,
so
it's
no
easy.
nitrates.
We have a dehydrator, and you just basically put salt on it and throw it in the dehydrator, so that works pretty well.
You anticipate continuing this?
Well,
forever?
God, forever's a long time. I'd like to be able to eat more things, but I'm going to experiment with that very, 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 very cautiously. I'm going to add mushrooms next because maybe I could eat them. For some people, a vegan diet or vegan diet is preferable. Well, certainly to a standard American diet. Well, that's why I don't want to universalize from my experience, you know. But this is what's happened to me, and this is what's happened to my wife and my daughter. So, and all of it's been, well, with Michaela, it's miraculous. I cannot believe it. The last time I saw her, it made me cry. I've never seen her look like that. She looks so good. She's so healthy. And
all of her other joints are not experiencing any problems.
And she's taking no immunomodulators at all. No, to answer that. Because when I changed my diet, I didn't respond to antidepressants properly anymore. They weren't working. And so although I was getting better physically in a variety of ways, like radical ways, I was really having a bitch of a time regulating my mood, and I was having sporadic, really negative reactions to food when I ate something I shouldn't. So that took about 1.5 years to clear up, and I was still really anxious in the morning up to 3 months ago, like horribly, and then it would get better all day. People said, well, you're under a lot of stress. And I thought, yeah, I've been under a lot of stress for like 10 years. It's like, it's a lot, but it wasn't any more stressful than helping my daughter deal with her illness, that's for sure.